peace, and love, it's time for Around My Way. You're now tuned in to Lois Lane Radio. I'm your lovely host, Elo, and you're listening to The Real 1100 AM. So, I want to introduce my friends. Okay, so this is writer, producer, artist, director, all of this jazz, actor. Like, this man is like everything encompassed in one. George Lott is in the building,
What's
y'all.
What's
How you doing?
Thank you for having me.
Money.
Yeah.
G Money, I like it.
Thank you. I hit the claps, you know what I mean? We're welcome.
Now, I want to start with George, but I do also want to introduce actor, model, host, and I'm going to add inspiration because this man is just...
I'll take it.
I'm telling you. Darian Barnes, also known as Invisalign, is in the building.
What's happening? We in here. We're going to have us some fun tonight.
Yes. Okay, so my first... I want to first kind of introduce you from what I know you from.
Okay.
I met you at Hits, and... from Little, from Black Lightning, from Shaft, from what else? Tell me what else you got.
Look, I don't look, you did it. It's so that list.
The list goes on and on. The hate you give, nappily ever after. What
Somebody
else?
did their research.
What else?
Come on now.
Like,
You know,
seriously, everything that I've seen outside of what I personally know has been great. And you told your story before about you moving to Atlanta with only $250.
Yep.
And that touched me. And I told you the day that we had that interview that I was like in the same position, like something has to happen. And you're from Plant City, Florida. I'm from Florida. Woo!
I love this. Hey,
Yes.
I love someone who they research. You know, I love it.
So tell me and tell everyone, what do you have going on right now and what is to come?
Okay, yeah. So as you said, I just came off of a great year. 2019 was amazing. The movie Little,
Yes.
Shaft, and CW's Black Lightning. So
Yes.
I've kind of took a break from in front of the camera a little bit and decided to get behind the camera and step into writing and directing and producing. So I have developed a project called FBoy Free. And it actually is starring Darian Barnes.
Come on, F-Boy
and,
Free.
Jennifer Sears.
Yes.
And I'm really excited about it. It's my baby. It's a romantic comedy about these women who are dealing with these F-boys. And they get introduced to a card game. And so they go on this journey of trying to flip the script and take on the mindset of F-girls. And so their hot girl summer could become a fool girl fall. So, yeah, that's what I've been working on.
Okay. Yeah. And because I was a small bit of that project, I know that it is going to be big, like from start to finish. Like, it was just amazing. And in the turnaround time, you did it in like what, 2-3 weeks?
Wow,
Like,
2 weeks.
It's
supposed to be a
crazy. Like,
Yeah.
you like a Tyler Perry. Like, yo, let's write it, film it, get it done. Like, just
Boom, bow.
on it. Exactly. And the cast, oh my God.
Yeah.
Everybody just, the chemistry was like beautiful.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to my team. You know, Kenesha Johnson, Angie Castillo.
Yes.
I don't want to forget everybody, but everybody in their respective places. I feel Sia Spence. I got women run the world, and I could have not achieved what we did in that small amount of time if it had been for women. I gained a whole new
women.
respect for women. Yeah.
Yes.
I learned also that I'm not a multitasker. These women could do like 10 things at one time, and I was stuck on my first thing. I'm like, wait, you guys have moved on?
Yeah.
And they taught me just how to move and get stuff done. And so they are amazing. So that whole team for the F-Boy Free movie was really ran by women. And I called the shots, but they handled business from contracts, scheduling, crafty, transportation, just everything. And so I got to give a special shout out to them. And then the amazing cast, they helped me cast it. Darian helped cast as well, his brothers, and then Jennifer Sears stepped in the casting. And so it was just a beautiful situation to be in, and like you said, the experience and the vibes were so right. And I told my team, I said, I don't care about resume, followers on Instagram. I said, I just want the energy to be right, and you can vouch for me.
Right.
The energy was amazing on set.
Amazing.
And
It was.
I also want to tell you as well, there's no small parts when it comes to telling the story. You know what I mean? And so you played a very influential scenes in the project itself so far. So I just want to say kudos for you, and I think you. Not that this is turned around on you, but I think you represent what happens when you just go hard for the craft and your gift makes room for you. Because I remember there was a moment where I was like, I wish Elo was a part of this movie. And then when I had to dream on set, you had already been cast for a role, and I had no idea it was going to be brought back into the film. And so you was present. You were working behind the scenes doing multiple things. Shout out to you. I forgot you was on the team, part of the women's crew. And so kudos to that. So congratulations, you did your thing.
Thank you. It was definitely an honor. I really was like, whatever you need, I don't care. I'm there, just whatever it is, because experience and just to see the entire project from start to finish. And I'm a background person. Like, I've grown to become in front of the camera, but I do a lot of production and admin stuff behind the scenes. I'm like super organized. So if there was anything that I could do to help, I was there. So I just thank you for the opportunity.
I love it.
Thank you for the opportunity. But I did want to say something because there were two things that happened with Darian that I wanted to bring up when we were filming.
Oh Lord!
The first one was
My memory bad, I don't remember.
Remember when I was taking the names for the casting when you guys were having the auditions. So Darian came in and he just kind of passed like right by me. Oh, and then when, at the end when you brought all the team in,
I remember.
Remember when you brought all the team in? He was like, "Oh, Elo," and I'm like, "Dude, like I've been sitting there the whole time."
Yeah.
Wait,
didn't you take him to the room?
Yeah, I did, and I told him
Whose
that.
side are you on?
Well,
Whose side are you on?
Women run the world, so.
Okay, so I'm gonna just put it like this. I hate to say it. I just feel like I don't want to sound ridiculous, but I don't think if I saw her just walking in the room, I don't think I recognized her.
Wow, and you didn't.
No. Seriously, I don't know. I have this mode I get in when it's time to work.
Mode, yeah.
That I'm just really like about whatever I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like whatever it is. I mean, I may go 3, 4, 5 hours and might not eat. Like because I'm just so into what I'm doing. So when I think I was running behind. They had already seen 2 or 3 people.
Yeah.
Don't start that.
Well,
hey, so they had already seen like 2 or 3 people. I'm like, let me get in here. Let me see. Let me be a part of it. And I walked in. There was a bunch of people. I'm like, where am I going? And I remember seeing a face like, hey, you looking for so-and-so? Yeah. And I didn't see it, So
it's okay.
That's just, I get it. Bring it up. I apologize. You know what I'm saying? On air. That's not bad. I'll do it.
Mark this moment. He's apologizing.
He's apologizing.
Wow.
For the light-skinned community he has.
What is going on?
I've never seen this.
Look, I just want to go on record of saying I didn't know he was going to act like this when we got in here.
Wow.
I thought he was going to be on my side.
I'm always dark-skinned.
But let me tell you the second part of this. Okay, fast forward a week.
She got more. There's more.
There's more to the story. Okay. Fast forward a week. So I'm helping. This was at the gym. This was when we did the part at the gym.
The gym scene.
And everybody was just offering this, that. You were like, Elo, he needs some tea for his throat, so I had to go get some Starbucks or whatever.
Oh, I was losing my voice.
Yes,
I forgot I was
sick.
He
was losing his voice. And so,
that's crazy.
I was looking like the Aaron girl then, but then when it was time for the other part, it was like, Elo.
Oh yeah, have you ever seen them shows? I forgot they used to come on like MTV or something. It's like a makeover show.
Oh yeah.
They bring somebody in, they look some way. I just didn't. I say once again, I hope I don't sound ridiculous. Like I didn't know who it was. What I'm saying? I came in, I saw her, I'm like, wait a minute, Elo. Where did you get that dress from? Whose showroom you pulled at? So I think it's dope to be able to transform like that. I feel like a lot of women have this diversity in their looks that they can just switch it up and they'll fool me. I'm the one that get fooled. I
so smooth. I like how he cleaned it up.
Yeah,
I love it.
He did a good job.
But I recognize my queens when I see them. You know what I mean?
Okay.
They have an aura.
I was like, no. Treat me as the help. Treat me as the help.
No.
But then remember after that, when we got to the scene, it was like, no, we need you in the VIP.
Oh, yeah. No, and honestly, I want to clean it up when you say treat me as the help. I was still a gentleman now. I was extremely nice.
I'm
You're like,
just teasing.
okay, because I don't want nobody to think I'm...
I want to say that he is.
Honestly. Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Honestly, what I have to say is genuine. You've always treated me the same. It's been so sweet. It's been so pure. It's like
I feel better now.
I don't want to look at you as my brother though. Like
oh no, we don't have to. Look, I can just be a gentleman. I'll take it.
Like,
and I don't look at him as a brother, so I think that I love it. So
you see this colorism. I don't know why we got to do this. Well, can we all just get along?
We can.
But honestly, your humility has it spoke for you. So
thank you.
You don't have the big head about life and all of that jazz.
Hey, y'all talk a little trash, but I don't mean that by it. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
it's all fun. It's all fun.
That's dope. That's dope.
So I want to get to before that. I want to ask you one thing. What was the most important part of your career in regards to life changing? Like, what actually happened to make it like take off?
To be honest, I think it was the very first step, starting. I think that's the biggest thing that we sweep under the rug. I think starting and jumping was the best thing I've ever done, because nothing would have happened had I not jumped. I remember living in Florida, and I kept feeling like I needed to be in Atlanta. And I had met Atlanta by way of Jermaine Dupri, because I had worked on some stuff for his project. And I was like, I love this city. But of course, you'd love it being introduced by way of that. And so I remember getting this video, and it was by Kelly Price. And I'm going to paraphrase it. But is that my phone? I'm sorry for this. The quote she said, I'm paraphrasing, but she said, even a fisherman with all of the right equipment catches no fish standing in the woods, something along that lines. And I remember thinking Florida was my woods, and I could have everything to make it, but if I don't find water, I'll never catch the fish. And so Atlanta represented water for me. And so I remember coming to Atlanta, as you stated earlier about my story, and I think that was the initiative that started everything off. But to be fair, I think the biggest moment so far was the Little situation. Worldwide, because my first film credit was an international movie by Will Packer. And I remember in my phone, I did what's it called in the beginning of the year? You do like a vision board. I was like, I want to work with Will Packer, because all the big black films were produced by Will Packer. And I'm like, if I could just be a part of Will Packer. So I Googled his chair. I just Googled his name, and then a set chair came up, and I put it in my phone. And I saw that same chair on set, and I was like, it happened, it manifested.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and so people don't know this, and I don't want to take too much time on the Little, but I remember being in a very hard place at Little, and to the point where I was facing eviction. And so I had a friend who was just like, my car wasn't working. So a lot of people know about my journey, like, used to live in my car. And so I was like, I can survive long as I have my car, but to get evicted and not have my car or not work, I was like, okay, now I'm really finna feel this.
Right.
And so I was on my way to set the next day. That weekend before, a friend told me don't do no more background work. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna do no more. And I got a call for a company to say, hey, we got this movie coming up called Little. There's this hipster scene, and we think you could be a perfect fit. We don't know if you can have the role right now, but we want to know if you smoke. Now, I didn't smoke at the time. And so I had my friends who may know a little bit about it. And so, but I lied to the casting. I lied to the casting director. I was like, oh, yeah, I know how to smoke. Now, mind you, I come from a very religious family, preacher's kid. And so I lied. And so they called me back and said, the director chose me. And I'm like, oh, that's amazing. So I took the background gig. I said, it's my last one. And that don't matter later on, but I said it's my last gig because I just promised my friend who was on Power that I was not going to do no more background work. So I get on set, and so long story short, they were running behind schedule, and so they took a picture of me, they sent me to set, they said, wait for the director. So I get on set, and as I'm waiting for the director, this lady comes up to me out of the blue with a little hat on, down to earth. She's like, I love your look. And I'm like, I love your face. She's real cute, too. I'm thinking I'm flirting with her. I'm like, what's up? So we chopping it up, and so a guy comes up, and she walks away. He's like, what did you say to her? And I was like, oh, nothing. But I got scared because at that time, the Me Too movement was going on. Gotcha. So I'm thinking back like, I said something? Yes. And I was like, I was just standing here waiting for the director. And he was like, that's Tina Gordon Chisholm. That is the director. And I was like, and so, long story short, I ended up getting upgraded on set of Little, and by way of her. And so that was life-changing for me. And I remember her saying the scene that I did was like trailer-worthy. And then so the first trailer dropped with Little, and I wasn't in. I was like, well, that's nice. And so they dropped the international trailer, and I saw myself.
When you were in. Boom.
That moment took it to the next level. And so to answer your question, I think that was the defining moment where I was like, oh, snap. Mama, I made it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That face and me all over the world. So I think that was dope.
It's crazy because I remember watching it and I was like, that was like pretty funny. Like he only had that one part and then it's just like he's all high and singing. And then I meet you and then start working with you. I'm just like, this is so dope. Like just from that one part of the movie. It's amazing.
Well, that's why I tell you too. I want to say this real quick, Pooh. But when you love the craft, it's never about how big my part is. I always tell people a small part of something major is better than a major part of something small.
Right.
And so to be in a film with Issa Rae, Marcel Martin, Regina Hall, these are people who I watch on TV, you know what I mean? Yes. And so but again, that one thing changed my life forever. And I think
Yes.
I don't look at, this as how big is it. It's like, can I put something apart? Can I be a part of something great? And can I give my greatness? And so,
Yes.
yeah.
And I remember you telling me that. Remember the other part we did, and it was like, whatever part we have, we just got to make it great. Like whatever it is, just make it great. Well, thank you for that. Now you Invisalign.
Here I am.
All right. Now, your story is massive when it comes to entertainment because you've worked with music, modeling, acting. You've been on reality TV. You done got you a girlfriend off of TV. Like, I mean, first off, what's the status today? Like, as in right now? Like, is Invisalign single or what's going on?
Oh yeah,
Ladies want to know.
As of today, like right now.
Yeah, like right now.
As I'm talking online.
Yes.
I'm single as. I'm single as. I'm single. Yeah.
He album.
Definitely. Definitely single. Yeah. I don't want to get bleeped again, but I'm single. Yeah.
Okay, so from that, would you do reality TV again?
If it's right. If it's right on real. Yeah, I feel like my first reality show was so perfect. I didn't have to be nothing but myself. I didn't have to play nobody else. I didn't have to play up to nothing, and I feel like that's where the people who seen it and who watched it love me because I was just really myself, So I know a lot of, and it wasn't scripted, whatever people think, like it wasn't scripted, so I think a lot of reality shows can be. Now, I'm not going to say they are, but they can be. They want them to play into characters not really themselves. They want them to exaggerate certain stuff. And I honestly feel like because reality is taken on to be completely real, even if it's little stuff here and there that's messed with, I feel like it'll have to be right. Like I'll do it, but it'll have to be right because I know that's my image too,
Right, exactly.
So, I won't say I wouldn't, but it'll have to be right.
Okay, so did you know B. Simone before the show?
No, I had no idea.
Really?
No, I didn't know. Yeah, like it's so crazy. It's a scene where we're talking, and she's like, I'm this, I'm that. I'm like, well, to be honest, I didn't even know you before this show. Yeah, because I got hit up by the production, like by the network, and they told me they was interested in doing this show and would I like to be a part of it. And they told me everything that went into it, and I was like, yeah, like why not? And it started off as just a gig, like. I'm gonna do this show. I'm gonna stay these weeks in this mansion. I'm gonna, what I'm saying. We're gonna have us some fun, and like we just actually built a little chemistry. It actually turned into what it was.
Okay. So the fights was real. Y'all boxed.
Yeah, when you get in there, like they kind of tell you what are just absolute no-nos. Like you break somebody, you throw punches and stuff, you probably get thrown out. If you get, certain stuff you can't do. You know what I'm saying? So I knew within the guidelines of what I could do, I'm gonna be myself. So if I feel like, like if I feel triggered, like, okay, like we could do whatever, as long as I don't like just bop, so.
That first one, it was like, woo.
Yeah, it kind of got up on him. He got up on him. We cool now, like for the record, like, we cool now and stuff. But when I met him, I just felt like I felt like, it was what it was. Yeah. It's done, so. Yeah.
I mean, fighting for love, ain't nobody ever fought over my love like that. So kudos.
I don't believe that. She had somebody fight over.
No.
That you know of.
No.
No fighting.
No fighting, not like that. And that's I get funny. It, but the funny thing about it is I now know two of you guys. I know Beauty Supply, Eric, and I know you.
What? You met Beauty Supply?
I've done skits with him.
Oh, man. Yes. Beauty Supply is really, like, so underrated, man. He's so funny. Like, I love Eric. I do. Even on the show, man, like, in between, even, like, off camera, because we really was just filming, all around. And they didn't like do a lot of the footage. You know what I'm saying? They had got a whole bunch of footage and put it together, So off camera with him just walking around, he's just funny in real life.
Yes,
like,
he is.
Everything he says.
He's
like
actually black. Like this,
no, he really is.
He is.
He is the blackest Asian I know. You know what I'm saying? And he don't try to be black. He just you can tell he's been around that.
He has a good spirit. I love Eric. Yeah. I love it. But it was just funny. I'm like, God, I know two of these jokers now. Like,
yeah.
Funny.
That's dope.
Dope. So now, what do you have coming up for us?
Man, let me see. So, he told you about FBoy Free. FBoy Free. That will be premiering soon. Hopefully next month. Preview will be out. All of that, people to see that. I'm the lead in that. I play Dylan. Dylan is, the lead FBoy. He's a charmer. He's funny, he's kind of like me, in real life. except for the FBoy part. You know what I mean?
Tell the
y'all
truth.
heard
Let's
that?
keep going.
This is why he's single than a
No. But I got that coming out. I'm excited about that because I
Yes.
feel like that's gonna show a different side of me in film.
Okay.
Like in reality TV, people know, I was whatever, a little hot hair, a little funny, a little whatever. But film is actually the character. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be with who you are or whoever the character is within that. Yes. So I feel like that's a dope branch out for me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited about that. I can't talk a whole lot, but I just got to work with like some of my legends, man. Like like that I grew up watching, grew up hearing about. A few weeks ago, I wrapped a project with Spike Lee.
Yes, I was gonna say.
Yeah, with Spike Lee. Like so I can't.
Awesome.
It was so crazy how it happened. Talking about this manifestation thing we was talking about.
Yeah.
He did his vision board. I did mine as well. I feel like it's good to get thoughts out.
Yes.
Because the more tangible a thought becomes, the more you can bring it to fruition.
Right.
I believe everything in the world started as a thought. Even a car, like, what if I get somewhere faster? Whatever, everything started as an idea.
Yes.
So I got this idea out. My manager asked me, what are 3 directors that I want to work with? And I named Deion Taylor. And Spike was one of them. And he asked me why, and I was like, well, Spike is just an icon in my community, and he's done some of my favorite movies. Just a lot of reasons. Yeah. And I kid you not, literally like a month and a half later, I got hit up to be part of this project, awesome. And they told me, that it's directed by Spike Lee and who else I'll be working with. And I couldn't believe it, so I couldn't really believe it till I got on set. They got us dressed. And they called him in to look at us to make sure it was good. And he kind of walked in. Spike's all about business, too.
Yeah.
Like, he kind of walked in. He looked this way. And he walked back out. I was like, oh, this is definitely Spike Lee. He's kind of short, so it was just dope. And also, I can't name everybody, but I got a chance to work alongside Samuel Jackson.
Really?
Yeah, and I think, and we just sat and talked, man. He told me he done over 300 movies. I can't name 300 movies, but I know he's done a lot of work. Yeah. So he was and he gave me some pointers and stuff, and I think that's amazing, just to be even to work alongside them. Yes. I feel like I've done other stuff that was decent because I work with Queen Latifah and Brandy on Star, and they were legends. But I feel like it's a difference when I'm working with Spike. I feel not Spike, well Spike and Sam. Mm-hmm. When I'm talking with Sam and he's telling me about his credits go back to like early 90s all the way up to now, maybe 80s, I don't know.
It's
and he
probably
just,
80s.
Yeah, probably 80s. And he telling me all this stuff. I feel like that was kind of my moment, for him when he said it, like, absolutely. No matter what I done, when I'm sitting here talking to Samuel Jackson on set.
Absolutely.
I think I might have made it.
Say to Samuel.
Yeah, like young or old, 7 to 70, they know who that is.
I just want to cheat slide into this situation. What I love about this situation is our careers so parallel. Like, we achieve our highlights the same year.
Oh, yeah.
We both were with Sam, and so it's like
okay. Yes, okay. So
I'm like, what happened?
No, that is my timer.
Okay,
that's my timer. Yes.
Boom.
So wrap that part up, and then we're gonna do something really quick. I told you I had a game. It's called the knockout round. So whenever you guys wrap that up, we're gonna talk about that. So yeah, I'll give y'all a minute to wrap that up.
Oh no, just it's been an honor to have a brother in this industry. You know what I mean? And I think it's very rare that you find people that are genuine, but you can just tell that we're in the right space, right time. It just we experience a lot of things at the same time. So I thought it was so dope how we both can share working with legends and things of that nature. But
because he was right with Chef. He did Chef with this summer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he came and told me, he was like, man, Samuel Jackson is just like himself. He on set saying mother effer, he's so like he just himself. And I was like, oh, that's dope. 6-7 months later, I'm like, bro, he really is himself. Like,
we both got a project with Sam, and I think this is so dope. So that's why I want to say that.
That's awesome. And I actually like how y'all just help each other and work with each other and just got each other back all the time. I love that. I mean, this is brotherhood.
Yeah,
I love it.
I really feel like when you're in the right place, doing the right things, the stars just kind of seem to align. Like stuff just seem to work out. So I kind of think that's what's happening. I'm grateful.
Okay. So right now, for the next 5 minutes, what we're gonna do, I have some cards here.
Okay.
Now, the theme of Lois Lane Radio, of course, which is why you heard the bell, is boxing. And I just put together a couple of, it's about 8 cards. So you pick one. Mm-hmm. Depending on how long it's going to take, you might pick 2. But each one of you pick one. And then depending on what you pick is the level of question that I'll ask you.
Oh.
So. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, so what? Explain it again.
So depending on the level, depending on the type of card you pick is the level of a question that you will get.
Okay,
asked,
and we don't know. We just got to pick random.
Yeah, you just have to pick random. So
you go first.
Right.
Slide it out.
All right.
Oh, look at it.
It's one easy one, so I'm just.
It's
Yeah,
one
you can
easy
look
one.
at it because
Pray
it's
for
not
the
on
easy
there.
one, pray
It's
for
not
the
on
easy
there. I have the
one.
question.
Boom.
I have the question. So,
okay.
what is yours say, George?
Rope-a-dope?
Oh, you got a rope dope. Okay.
What does that mean?
That's a medium one. I got you on the
Oh,
ropes.
got you.
Okay.
Nice.
And what do you have, Darian?
Lead right.
Okay, you got a medium one too. So we can pull another one afterwards. But your first one, George. Okay. So would you date outside of your race, even if your family was against it?
Yes.
Okay. And why?
I think love is love. And my first girlfriend was a white girl, and so that's funny.
Wow.
So that already happened. Yeah.
Okay.
And so my brothers all had different race baby mamas. So
okay,
so
that works.
Yeah, they don't have any black. Well, they didn't almost have any black grandkids. So
Okay.
I think the pressure's on me like black grandkids. So the answer is yes.
Okay. And which one did you have?
Lead right.
Lead right. Okay. So
You said medium.
were you? I know.
Put
Were you ever in love, and was that person you were in love with your best lover sexually?
This is medium?
Yeah.
Okay. I've definitely been in love.
Okay.
Been in love 1 or 2 times, like the real thing, I feel like. And ooh.
Ain't no answer to that.
We have 2 minutes, yo.
Yeah, I would say no.
Oh.
No, they weren't my best lover,
Okay. Honesty. That's what we
I'm
want.
like, oh, I'm getting in trouble.
And
but
if he disappears, we know honesty.
Yeah, it did it. Honestly did it. But, I was in love. That was my deepest emotional attachment. But, no, it didn't transfer over.
Okay. So today's topic, we didn't get into it, but we got into some great information about both of you guys' career. But it was about FBoy Free February, how we were going to enter in. But I just thank you guys so much for coming out to my first show.
We're excited.
I got both of y'all at the same
Yes,
time.
yes, it was
Like,
fun.
oh my God.
I'm gonna come on Millie Rock one time. Okay, all right, bring it back.
Okay,
That
so
was
I
fun.
know you're definitely going to have to come back. Give us some more updates. I'm
Yes.
pretty sure I will meet y'all on the red carpet at some
Absolutely.
point.
I'm pretty sure you will.
So stay in touch. Please don't be strangers. I know y'all won't because I got both of y'all numbers. So.
There you go. What you mean? We're a family in here.
So thank you again so
Thank you so much
for
for
coming
having us.
out. It was fun. It was dope.
Always.
And yeah,
And we will be
thank
back.
you. Yeah, thank you so much.
I had to check my schedule, but
Oh, yeah. you're the,
Like,
the Palm Pilot guy.
I just want to act light skin for a quick second. Okay, now I'm definitely coming back.
All right.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, guys, that is it for this week. I hope you guys tune in next Friday. Please, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. every Friday, Lois Lane Radio. And we're out. Hey, thank you for listening to this week's show on Lois Lane Radio. I'm your host, Elo. And remember to follow the show on Instagram at The Lois Lane Radio Show, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at Lois Lane Radio. Don't forget to download Really 1100 AM, iHeartRadio, and tune in. Check out my website at loislaneradio.com. Peace and love.